Okay, welcome back. Another episode of Home Workouts. Me and Jeremy are here to kick it off with you guys today. Our warm-up is going to be very nice and slow paced, some simple movements in there. Let's get started with the arm circle. So Jeremy's going to have his arms, and guess what he's going to do? He's going to make circles. Hey, oh. Wow. And you just count every time you pass. It's like 1, 2, 3. And you can make them as big if you want to. And let's just do this. Every round you do, you just add a bit of swing. You just add a bit of motion in there. Second movement. Feet are going to be stuck together there underneath the hips. You're going to make sure you press your ankles forward. And you're going to make circles with the ankle, keeping your heels on the floor throughout. And you're going to go in both directions. So 10 reps to one side, then 10 reps to the other. You can rest there, Jim. Third movement. The Wood Pecker. Means it's like that balance act that you do where you kind of hinge from one leg, slight knee bend, and you start shifting your butt back, try to get your hamstring to fire. Now, why does this often go wrong? First of all, there's not enough pressure in the foot properly divided. So you want to have your big toe, little toe, and heel all pressed into the floor. You want to have a soft knee. But what you also want to have is you want to make sure you shift and hinge your weight into your hamstring and glute. So you don't just lean forward. Leaning forward is not going to help you fire that posterior chain. 5 minutes, 10 repetitions of the arm circle. You can alternate rounds. So one round forward, the other round you go backwards. And you do 10 repetitions of the ankle circle to one direction. Wax on, wax off. 10 repetitions in the other direction. You do 5 woodpeckers, 5 other woodpeckers. Go. As in a couple of seconds. 3, 2, 1. There. Arm circles, here we go. Warming up the shoulders. You don't have to use your upper body as in swinging your torso back and forth. You just want to make sure you stay in line and only focus on rotating through the shoulder. After 10, you start making ankle circles. This is actually a very simple but very useful warm-up at the same time. Today we have to prep for squatting and pressing with the upper body. So we're probably going to warm up shoulders, ankles, and hips a lot here. All about dynamics, all about dynamics. 10 reps in each direction, finishing up with the woodpecker. There you go. There you go. And again, guys, you know you've seen lots of videos with the woodpecker, also often as an injury option. It is a tough balance movement. We tend to show you that as coaches as well. It's not very easy to perform. If you have a dumbbell or a kettlebell, and it's very easy, you can always throw that in to have a contra weight on the other hand. Part number 2 today is not considered mobility, but I would call it a very active prep for the workout in the end of today's session. Now, what we're going to combine is the classic shoulder tap with the squat, but the squat is going to be done very, very slowly, okay? Now, what we'll do first, we'll quickly show you the 2 movements and scaling options, then we come back to me explaining you guys the setup with the intervals, and then we'll start all together. So Jeremy is in that plank here. He's going to lift right arm to right shoulder, left arm to left shoulder. He's going to try to keep his hips in line with the shoulder here. Hips tiny bit lower, Jim. There we go, buddy. That is very nice. If you keep your feet in line with the hips, you get a nice stable base. If you go wider, the base only gets better. If you go more narrow, the base gets more challenging because it's harder. Here we go. You can rest there, man. The other movement is going to be the squat. And when I talk about slow squatting, I talk about approximately a 4 to 5 second repetition in total. So you're going to do like 2 to 3 seconds on the way down. Let's do that. Like a 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Why do we choose to do this? Because we're warming up. I don't want to see all that bouncing around, shifting the pressure in the feet. I want to see you being nice and tight, nice and snug, controlling every centimeter of the motion. Now, Jeremy's going to show you injury option for the squat. What we want to try to do if you have a bad knees in this one is I want you to go for like a Kang squat variation. So you hinge, then you pull yourself into squat bottom. You go back into that hinge. You drive up the upper body. Rest. Because that was one perfect rep. I don't want you to mess it up. That's good, buddy. Now, what are you going to do? You set your timer at 12 intervals. 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. And if you guys know by now, that's a Tabata and a half combined, where you alternate between the shoulder taps and the slow squats. Don't go for reps, go for quality. He's ready, I'm ready, you're ready, he's ready, she's ready, 10 seconds. Are you ready, Jeremy? Nice. Here we go. So what I want him to do is make sure he stays aligned. So instead of going extremely fast, Jeremy's actually good at doing this fast and still staying aligned. And with aligned, I mean hips and shoulders. They don't twist and move. Jeremy can show you guys any tempo while staying aligned. That's crazy. Alright, nice. Now what he does have to do slow, this is rest, is the actual squat. So the squat is going to be done slowly. I don't want you to change the tempo there. Also, because if you would be squatting fast here with the 12 intervals, which means 6 for squatting, you would end up doing way too many squats in an actual warm-up. Because what it is about is the workout of the day. 3, 2, 1. I have 10 seconds. You guys have 10 intervals left. We see you back in a second. Bye. Hi guys, it's ready to start that actual workout. No, not yet start. I have to show you the movements first. It is 4 different movements. We are going to show you tons of scaling options, so please stick around and pick the stuff that is good for just you only, okay? Now, Jeremy here is going to start with the band around the back. He's going to go in a push-up position. Thank you, Jer. We're going to do push-ups with band tension, which makes the lockout way harder. So in the bottom, we're kind of okay. When we go up, the tension of the band increases, which makes the push-up harder while you're pushing through that band. Great push-up. Now, if it's very hard, you go on the knees and you do exactly the same. Instead of getting rid of the band, I do want to see that loading. So I want to see some extra tension on the band there. So we choose to do push-up on the knees and then with the band tension. If you have an injury not allowing you to do the pressing movements, elbow, shoulder, chest, sole, you're going to stand on the band. Instead of doing the row like yesterday, you're going to do an end hold of the row. So you're going to have very tight position there. And you're going to do 2 seconds for every rep, which makes it a 20-second row hold. Elbows close, elbows high, torso in the same spot throughout the 20-second period. Rest, buddy. Movement number 2 is going to be that tricep push down. Get your necklace going, buddy. Grab the band wherever you feel comfortable grabbing. Now in the starting position, I want to see this 90-degree elbow and tension on the band. Now from there, the pinky is pointing down. We're going to point the pinky down and back. We're going to point the pinky down and back. So when the elbow extends, we have the tricep kicking in with all the work there, right? When we don't go past the 90-degree angle, we keep the tension on the tricep and on the band, which makes this a perfect movement to do, specifically when we do it right after the push-ups. So the push-ups is going to fatigue the chest, it's going to lit up the tricep, and this finishes off the tricep completely. Great job, Jem. Now, injury option, which you probably need if you also have to skill the push-ups, is going to be the curl with the band. So you're going to stand in the band, you create as much tension as you need to, you're going to have your arms extended, and you're going to start curling that baby towards the shoulder. So Jeremy's palms are like slightly, they're kind of crossing in front of the body, which is a nice position, nice and neutral there. And he's trying to curl by keeping his elbows in the spot, moving his hands away from him, and in the end, bringing in towards the shoulder for that big peak contraction, because that's what he needs there. Peak contraction. Get the blood flow going, buddy. Get the growth hormone pumping through the body. Okay, that was an injury option. Third movement, you can ditch the band, buddy. You can get your feet in a narrow stance. Well, we're going to hit some legs here. We're going to focus on that vastus medialis, VMO muscle with the narrow stance squats. Knees going forward a lot here. Let's go a couple of squats. I'm not focusing on full depth here. I'm focusing on keeping the entire foot into the floor and being able to drive the knees over the ankles, going towards the toes, loading up that VMO muscle properly. Obviously, your entire quad is fired here, but it's a nice way of isolating that muscle. Not isolating, but hitting it a tiny bit more. Creating a sensation on the inside of the knee that will help you with growth. Good. Now, injury option for this is going to be the butterfly glute bridge that I stole from Mariska. So you're going to be on your back. You're going to have that little weird CrossFit butterfly position. Now you're going to have your heels pressed into the floor. You're going to squeeze your butt, and you're going to come up from there. Hello. From the other side. Here we go. Let's do it again. Boom. Glute action, baby. Changing the position of the knees here allows you to hit different parts of the glute than with the regular glute bridge. Very nice. Jeremy, you can stand up, buddy. Now, our fourth and final movement is going to be the jumping lunge. So it's alternating. It says 20 reps. Every lunge is considered a rep. Let's get a couple of reps in here, Jem. 1, 2. Let's do 4 in total. 3, 4. Let's rest there. Now, what is very important for me, guys, is that you do not hit the floor with the back knee. But do not see that as a way out for going for a bigger range of motion. Okay, I do want you to go nice and deep. Just do not hit the floor because that's gonna hurt You don't want to have that. Now, injury options for that one. First one, no jumping, stepping lunges. Just do a back step. Back step is nice. This is good for living in an apartment building, for example. Nice little back step lunge. But we also discussed that if you have an injury that's not allowing you to hold all that knee bending action, we're actually going to do a stagger stand deadlift with a band. So, stagger stand means one leg forward, one leg backwards. The back foot's going to be on the toe. The idea is to get a hinge and focus on the front leg. So, Jeremy's going to find the hemi of the right leg here. Sit back, squeeze his glutes when he comes up. The back foot is just there to support for balance. Now, he doesn't have to show it, but he should do 10 reps on one leg and then 10 reps on the other to make it 20 reps in total. That was an injury option. 4 movements, shit ton of injury and scaling options. We get back to you guys with the workout in just a second. 1 second. All right, time to do the workout. 15 minutes of an AMRAP, 10 repetitions of the push-up against band, 15 repetitions of the push down, 15 repetitions of that hitting the VMO in a narrow stand squat, and then 20 repetitions of the alternating jumping lunge. Let's get ready. This is going to be a tough workout. Jeremy's here, 10-second countdown, and then we start all together. Welcome up the Kermis. 2, 1. Jeremy's looking forward to this one because he likes that upper body pump. Because he's all about that pump, by that pump. Keep pushing. He's all about that pump, about that pump. Keep pushing. He's all about that pump, about that pump. Keep pushing. And now he's gonna push down on the band. He's pushing. Pink is going down, pink is going back, elbow stay in the same spot. We're looking for flexion in the elbow, and then the tension should increase when we go to extension of the elbow, because that's where the tricep kicks in and does all of the work. Very nicely done. Now this is not a workout where the heart rate should go up very high, because we're trying to tackle muscle endurance here eventually with all the volume that we will do. Bend goes away. He goes for narrow stand squats, driving the knees over the toes. Is it safe? Ask the physios. Yes, it's safe. Here we go. Make sure that tracking the toes properly, hitting that VMO, which is very helpful for looking good on the beach, which is very functional. Yeah, it is. 15 reps it is. There we go. And then we're finishing up with 20 repetitions of that jumping lunge. There we go. There we go. And this is pure punishment, guys. I'm going to be honest with you. The narrow stand squats, I can tell you a big story about how useful they are. The jumping lunge is just fucking terrible. I said effing terrible. So a round's probably going to last you about 2 minutes or something. Let's see if we can get a good 6 to 7 rounds in, which is a lot of volume. But we need that because that is gains, and we're on that gain train together. Choo choo! That was the gain train.